So here we are at today's Manor Park Classics sale, and I'm here with Dutch classic car journalist Martin vanderZeeuw. Have I said that correctly?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So Martin, you've come over for today's auction.
Yes, I do.
Have you got your eye on anything particular, or are you just studying the market at the moment?
Well, a bit of both, I think.
Yeah.
I've had a bit of a look around, of course, and there are one or two cars that I really fancy.
Yeah,
and I'm also,
Are we standing next to one?
This one's, I almost going to say it's got my name on it.
Yeah.
But it's more literally.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's true. It does.
But
yeah.
I do like the Aston Martin, but I prefer a DB4, but that's another thing.
Okay. So anything else you've seen that particularly takes your fancy?
Well, I have actually.
Yeah.
It's that burgundy red Rolls Royce over there.
All right. Okay.
I am not a Silver Shadow man, I have to admit.
Yeah.
But that one in particular is very, very nice.
I like the fact that it doesn't have a cream interior.
There you are.
Yeah. And for me, that marks it out. It's a great colour. It's a great colour and great interior colour combination.
Exactly.
So
it's almost
brilliant.
the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. That is perfect. So tell me, what's the market in classic cars over in Holland like at the moment?
Actually, it's quite well. Actually, it's not going too bad because I speak to a lot of dealers. I talk to a lot of dealers, and they say, well, it's more or less booming, you could say. Probably because of what happened in the past few years. But
of course, yeah.
I think that's a major thing that happened.
So are a lot of classic cars getting restored now in Holland? Because people perhaps have had the time with lockdowns and all that kind of thing. People staying at home more. Have they taken to their garages and started up the welding
I think
torches?
some of them have written a book, and the other ones are starting to restore their cars after all this time.
Brilliant.
And they're buying cars as well, because you cannot go on. We couldn't go on holiday basically to France with the caravans behind. Sure. We can. You can go touring with a nice cabriolet or whatever you fancy.
That's brilliant.
So that's what people did last year, and probably they've now finally got, well, it's maybe nice for the next year as well, or keep the car or whatever.
Fabulous stuff.
Yeah.
So what would a Dutch classic car enthusiast be looking for now? What are the top cars?
I think I think of course the 1980s and 90s cars are now emerging more
Similar
or less.
to here.
Yeah, exactly. And but there's still some people who really fancy the top end cars like a Jaguar E-Type or which is not the upper high class, but a good original and an example which has history that will always do the trick.
Yeah. So the 80s and 90s are coming through strongly now, I guess, because for people who are just getting into classic cars, perhaps they're in their late 30s into their 40s or early 50s, now have a little bit of disposable income, and those are the cars, of course, that they remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that it makes absolute sense, which is why we can't get any parts for all of the European built cars over here, because simply everybody is hoarding all those spares and all those great cars over there right now.
Yeah, we have them.
Now tell me one more thing.
Yep.
A few years ago, I thought it was the case that you have restricted mileages or restricted kilometres that you can drive with your classic cars from your base point in the Netherlands. Is that correct, or are you allowed? You're free at liberty to drive them wherever you want?
No, we have the liberty to drive whatever we want to. But there are some cars that are restricted during, let's say, 3 months a year. Yeah. Which is the winter months. In which time most of the cars are inside anyway.
I understand.
So it's the 3 months of the year that they don't drive. But we're not restricted regarding mileage or anything. So some cars were in the old days, but
but now
not really restriction.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, that is good and healthy news.
Yeah.
So Martin, thank you very much for talking.
Thank you.
And I hope that you enjoy today's auction at Manor Park Classics, and I hope you get a few surprises as the day goes on. Remember, just put your hand up whenever you want to buy.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Right. Cheers, Martin.
Thank you.
ManorParkClassics.com. Today's the sale. Get on board.